None of us are exempt from pain. In life, as we experience it and as we move down the road of where we want to get to, every single one of us has come to a place where we experience so much pain that we choose that we no longer want to continue down that path. But for some of us, we choose to keep going. And beyond that pain, we realize that it was all worth it. Pain can be a debilitating force that can pull so much out of you. And it's like it's a long-term thing, because the pain doesn't just last for the moment. It's something that can carry on for a long time. That pain can do so much to your life. It can take away things that you were meant for if you let it. It can take you down paths that you were never meant to take. It can lead you down roadways that you were never supposed to embark upon. It'll cause you to do things that you would have never probably done had you never experienced that pain. And so that pain has a power to shape you. It causes you to change the direction that you were going in, or to even change the way that you are approaching that direction. And it's like left unbothered, left without actually thinking about what's going on, left in its own devices, that pain can break so much of who we are. That pain can destroy everything that was in our path that was meant to be ours. It can completely tear it away if we let it. And that pain has the power to turn you not only into something that you were never meant to be, but to turn your life into something that it was never meant to be like. Obviously, that's something that we all want to avoid, because you know what? Not only do we not want to experience the pain, but we also don't want to experience what comes with the pain. And we all think this way because we look at the pain in other people's lives. We look at the way that we experience pain in our own lives, whether it be when we were children, teenagers, or as adults, and we remember what that pain made us do. We remember how that pain affected us and how it changed the landscape of our life. It changed not only what our surroundings looked like, but how we interpreted them. And we interpreted our surroundings as everything is meaningless. We interpreted our surroundings as everything is pointless, everything is painful, everything is broken. And you know what? There's nothing I can do with this. All I desperately need to do is get past this pain, because I want to get to where I can be a place where there is none of this feeling. There is none of this brokenness. There is none of this surrounding that is not beautiful to me. It's like where I'm at right now. It took me a little bit of a while to get here. It took me some time. I had to climb over a couple of things. Nothing crazy, but I had to step over things. I had to go over places where I could have fell. There's some bugs. There's circumstances that could be interpreted as annoying. I'm wearing a long sleeve and it's hot. You know, there's so many ways that I could look at this and say, you know what? I don't want to be here. And yet in the midst of me focusing on those circumstances, and the key word is focusing, I lose out on all of the beauty that I could be focusing on. There are things that surround me that are so beautiful. There are things that are around me right now that are just absolutely breathtaking, and it's all part of God's creation. It's all part of the beauty that is literally created by God and surrounding the area that I currently reside in. But I have a choice, and I make this choice every day and every single place that I go to, both symbolically in life and also physically in life. Every place that I go to, I choose how I interpret what surrounds me. When I look around, I choose how I interpret what is there. I choose how I interpret how I feel about the different things that are around me. I choose what this looks like in my mind. And I could be standing next to a person that sees it completely differently, and yet my choice is the biggest reality to me. And that's how we come back to pain. I never want to discount the suffering that we experience as human beings. I never want to discount the things that you might be going through. I would never want to say that your pain is meaningless or make you feel that way. But the reality is that we choose how we interpret our pain. Yes, feel your pain. Allow the pain to take its effect, because you're a human being. Feel and experience those feelings that come to you when you feel hurt, but don't stay there. Today, as I was on my way to this place, I didn't really know where I was going to record. I spent some time trying to think about where I was going to go, and then, you know what, I just felt like getting in the car and driving. And I started to drive, and as I was driving, I felt just that I would be about an hour away whenever I ended up where I was going to go. I'm not joking with you. I literally did not choose this place. I just ended up here, and I am about an hour away. And I was driving, and I remember at one point, about half an hour in, I just saw an interesting road, and I took that road. And as soon as I took that road, a feeling came inside of me, and it reminded me of the fact that I felt I was going to be an hour away. And in that moment, it was so tempting for me to be like, you know what? Two things. It was so tempting for me to be like, you know what? Maybe I was wrong. I'm just gonna take this road, maybe it'll take me somewhere. But at the same time, I had a temptation to stick to what I felt was right. And what I had felt was right was that it was going to be an hour away. And when I took this road, I was venturing down this road, and I ended up in 3 different dead ends. And I remember that as I was coming in, there was a sign that said, "No outlet." And I had never seen this sign before, but I had the idea that it meant that there was no way to get out on the other side, that I would somehow end up back here at the entrance. And I go inside, and I end up at 3 dead ends and basically explore the whole area. The houses were beautiful, it was nice. And I remember just going in the roundabout on the dead ends 3 times and saying, I gotta go back. This wasn't the direction that I was supposed to take. But I ended up going back. I ended up having to drive back to where I came through, back to the entrance, and getting back on the road that I was on before. And how many times does that happen in life? How many times do we know where we need to go? How many times do we know what we need to do next? At very least, we have an idea of where we are supposed to be. And then something comes along that is interesting. Something comes along that's like, you know what? Maybe I should take this path too. There's nothing wrong with it. And you know what? Sometimes that's right. Sometimes that's right. There's nothing wrong with it. Sometimes that's right. But then there's other times where you just end up wasting time. Then there's some times where you end up hurting yourself. And in hurting yourself, not only do you lose time because you went there and it was not where you were supposed to be, not only do you lose time because now you have to go back, but you lose time because you stay there because of the pain. The fact is that sometimes we need to heal from that pain before we could even go on. But if we would have just stuck to what we knew was right, we could have saved ourselves from pain and lost time. I share this message with you because pain is a part of the journey. Even if you stay on course, you're going to get hurt. Even if you stay on course, you will get hurt. On my way here, actually, there was a road sign that said, Pain Road closed. Detour ahead. And it said, as I was going, it said, Pain Road Detour. And it told you how many feet it was away. And I just kept driving, and I was thinking about how interesting that was. Pain Road closed. Local traffic only, it said. It was almost as if you wanted to be able to go through Pain Road, you were only able to go through it slowly. There was no quick way through. There was no way to just rush through it. You needed local traffic only. And so I don't tell you to avoid pain at all costs. What I tell you instead is that when you are in pain, slow down but don't stop. I tell you that whenever you can, avoid going to places and doing things that you know are not part of your journey, to avoid them so that you can avoid lost time and avoid pain. I tell you that when you do experience pain though, to continue because you've got this. That when you end up in a piece of your journey that's on that road of pain, that you have to realize that you have to keep going. You don't want to stay there. And I want you to know, most of all, I want you to know this, that pain is part of the journey. That while you are going to the place that you need to be in, yeah, there might be a place called Pain Road for you. Yeah, there might be a place that hurts a little bit. Yeah, there might be a place that is difficult for you, that causes difficulty in your life. But remember that it was a part of what got you where you wanted to go. And that makes it worth it. Because if I know I'm going to get from point A to point B, I know I need to get to a place, and I know that that place is meant for me, and I know that I desperately want to be there. If I know that a piece of it is pain, but the end is joy and purpose, that makes it worth it. So this is a reminder to you that pain is part of your journey, but beyond that pain, there is something that is worth it if you will continue. All right, babe, so what do they have to do?
Like, oh, the camera's on me.
It's recording. I don't rewind. No, that's not how it works.
Like, comment, and share. And subscribe.